Oh boy,
Oh shit.
we got some bubblage.
Yeah, me too.
Oh
Welcome.
goodness. Hey everybody. Welcome to episode 14 of the Gaming and Drinking Cast. Travis, you know that old saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yep.
Fool me 3 times, you're playing with yourself.
Yeah, that's the saying as I know it for sure.
Yep.
I think George W. Bush said that, if I'm not mistaken.
So I think we're officially playing with ourselves right now.
It's a little deja vu up in here.
Yeah, this is our third try recording this episode because we were trying to use OBS and Skype before. We're still going to try to do that again in the future, but for now we are going to stick with what we got right now, and that's Zoom, because
the tried and true method.
The first time we tried to record, we had a really bad echo coming in. Second time we tried to record, I had messed around with a bunch of sound settings, and then we lost Travis completely in the recording, even though I could hear him fine on the mic. So now I'm not recording episode 14 4 times. So we're here. We're doing episode 14, and this one's gonna work. Damn it.
Yeah.
But
we say that now. This will be the first time.
Yeah. Oh my God. If Zoom craps out on us, I swear to God, I'm just done. I'm done. I quit.
Wow.
But yeah, we since this is our third try, we decided to go
something a little different with the beers tonight.
Yeah, we're both drinking the same one. We had an event over at Total Wine last week with Travis's brewery, New Serum, and so we were both there doing our job, and we decided, while we're here, let's go ahead and get our beers for the podcast. So we got either the same beer or beers from the same brewery for the whole show tonight, so we can actually be drinking the same thing and saying what we think about them. Yep. So Travis, what do we have here?
So this is the Golden Draak. I can't even begin to pronounce the name of this brewery. Brouwerij van Steenberg. I think Mary von Steenberger's, this is her brewery. This is a quad, 9,000 quad is what it's labeled as. So if you're familiar with the Belgian triple, this is the step up from that. This is another
Belgian quad. So it
says an exceptional golden amber quadruple ale. The tagline at the bottom says high fermentation, secondary fermentation, and then contains 4 times malt than a lager. I'm not the biggest fan of malts in beer, so
I'm not the biggest Belgian beer guy.
See, I love Belgians and I love triples, so I'm excited about this.
Well, triples have a ton of malt.
Yeah. I don't like malts in the way, like the sense of like a Schlitz malt, that kind of malty.
Oh, like a malt beverage,
right? Where it's too much malt and that's all you can taste. But
well, cheers, buddy.
Look at the color of this thing; it is beautiful.
Yeah, nice and copper.
Let's try this thing out.
That's pretty damn good.
It's good. Definitely malty on that back end, though. Oh,
yeah. Woo. Started out right.
Oh, we should say this is a 10.7.
Yep.
And it is a Belgian triple in the truest sense, because it is literally, this brewery is based out of Belgium. So,
yep, it's in Ertvelde, Belgium. All our Belgian listeners
know exactly where that is.
If you could just give us the proper pronunciation of anything on this bottle, that'd be great.
Literally any of the words.
Any word.
I don't think even golden is
Golden Draak.
Oh wow. That was very good. Very close.
But yeah, so welcome everybody. We have been, like I said, we've tried recording a few times. A little other bit of news. I had some interesting run-ins with my neighbors last night.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What kind of interesting?
So St. Patty's was this past weekend, right? It was Saturday, and me and Travis, we both went down to 5 Points in Columbia and ended up getting pretty drunk. And then after we Ubered back, me and Katie had a couple people come over, and it's not even 9:00 p.m. yet. And my next door neighbor, he sucks. He sucks really bad. He loves to come and bang on my door and tell me to keep it down, even when I'm not being loud. And so at like 8:45 on St. Patty's Day, he comes and bangs on my door and is like, y'all need to keep it down. We had 2 people over.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, whatever. The next day, I get an email from the front office that says, hey, everybody in 121, it was just addressed to all of us in 121. And it was like, we know someone in there is smoking marijuana. And next time we hear about it, we will call the cops. I don't smoke weed.
Wow.
I don't smoke weed. I know one of my neighbors does. I'm not going to say which one. But the one that does, he's super chill, great guy, really cool dude. But anyways, so last night, the neighbors downstairs were playing music pretty loud, actually very loud at like midnight, which, you know, it's annoying, but whatever. We're in an apartment. So I texted him because I have his number and I said, hey man, you mind just turning it down real quick? I gotta work tomorrow. He's like, yeah, that's cool. An hour later, I hear someone banging on his door, and I thought it was my other neighbor going downstairs to bang on his door. So I went outside to go be like, yo, quit banging on everybody's door.
Yeah.
And it was the cops banging on his door.
What?
Yeah. And so my next door neighbor called the cops on the literal kids that live downstairs.
How old is this guy?
The next door neighbor, he's got to be in his 40s. And then the kid downstairs he's 20.
Yeah.
And so like, oh my God, this guy sucks so bad. I really hope I hope he hears this right now.
Yeah. I mean, apparently he can hear everything in there.
Yeah,
so it's
right?
likely
Whatever.
that he can. That's one reason I don't want to ever live in an apartment complex again. I just hate like worrying about what other people think and what other people, their business. I like to listen to my shit loud. You know, I like to do the thing. And you kind of it just comes with the territory. If you're in an apartment, shit happens, you know, like it just is how it is.
Like, especially one that's like, not like it's not like we live in a 5-star resort apartment. It's like we live in a, not shitty, but just like totally middle of the road apartment.
Yeah.
And you're going to hear shit through the walls. Just, that's how it goes.
Yeah. The spacing in those apartments are really like, they're not spread out. So
they're right on top of each other.
Just comes with the territory.
So that is how last night went. I called the dude today and I was like, hey, how'd that go last night? Because I know he didn't open the door for the cops. they ended up just leaving after like 20 minutes of banging on the door.
Smart.
Which is how you should do it. If you're ever, know your rights, people. Know your rights.
Yeah.
So they left, and then I called him today and I was like, hey dude, just wanted to like make sure y'all are good. He's like, oh yeah, we're good. It's like, okay, good.
By the way, it wasn't me that called the cops.
Yes, Travis is not my next door neighbor.
I'm sure that he knows that it wasn't you. Like if they know the other guy, they're like, oh, it was definitely this fucking guy that did it.
Oh, they know. Yeah, they know exactly who it was because the guy came and banged on his door first, and the kid downstairs answered the door, was like, dude, you really need to quit doing this.
Yeah.
And then I guess he called the cops after that.
Sounds like somebody needs an attitude adjustment.
Oh, I ran into him today. He was at the top of the stairs about to come down, and I was at the bottom of the stairs about to come up. And I just looked at him and I just gave him the, like, do not fuck with me right now.
Yeah. Do not fuck with me.
So I walked up the stairs and he like literally just like moved out of the way completely.
It's like, yeah,
bro. Yeah, that's right. Cause you're too passive aggressive to actually say anything to my face.
Right. Just knock on your fucking door.
Yeah.
Ugh, that's the worst. That sounds terrible.
Yep, he is. So I got plans.
Nice.
I won't put them on the internet.
Just in case, you never know.
Yeah. Anyways, how's your week been, dude?
It's been busy. I've got a lot of stuff going on. We had a lot of fun on St. Patty's, and then I felt like I spent most of Monday recovering from that. It was a long weekend for me. Saturday and Sunday were both pretty busy, but we went to I've been going to like different accounts and trying to keep up with the summer blitz, or the warm weather blitz, I should say. Because in South Carolina, it's been 75 to 80 all week, even though it's just March. So the weather gets nice. I start to do more events. I've got a lot of events lined up and a lot of accounts that need stuff from me. So I've been doing a lot of, trying to put out a bunch of fires and keep people happy, open up new accounts and things like that. And I'm also doing stuff in Charlotte, North Carolina still for the moment. And that's been difficult because I don't live anywhere near there. So traveling up and then trying to keep everybody happy it's been a long week.
Hold on, my phone's ringing. There we go. All right.
So I'm a little tired, but doing good. I'm very happy. I've been playing a lot of video games. It's kind of
heck yeah.
It's been keeping me sane. I've been discovering a lot of. We'll get into it later, my ROM stuff, but discovering a lot of old games that I've been loving, and really just looking and researching that stuff has been kind of like my relaxed time. My downtime. I come home and I'm like, I just want to look up some old shit. Like see some stuff from my childhood. I've got this YouTube channel that I play a lot called Relaxing SNES Music.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like a bunch of some of the a lot of the songs I know. So it's nostalgic, but then there's other songs I don't know, which is like a cool discovery too. And then I see some of those songs. I'm like, cause it puts the box art of the video game up. And I'm like, ooh, I should check that game out because that music's so good.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. Just trying to maintain some semblance of sanity right now as it gets we're going to the busy season for us for beer people because the weather gets nicer, people start drinking a lot more. So also
it's reset season at the freaking grocery stores, and I hate that. I really hate
that. Really sucks. It sucks, especially because for your company, you don't have a ton of stuff in there, so it's kind of like you're fighting for the space for the few things you do have. Yeah. And then a lot of time the distributors will be like, why aren't you, are you going to come to this reset? Like, no, I have 6 things there. You have 76. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, no, I'm not going to be there.
I'm not going to go help you move 50 crates so I can move 3.
Right. Exactly. And they get really pissy about that shit, but what are you going to do?
Get pissy with me. I hope they get pissy with me. I'm steaming. I'll pretend they're my neighbor.
That'd be an interesting little showdown then, I think.
Yeah. So I was telling Katie, I was like, so their apartment is we're both on the second floor. Their porch faces the back. My porch faces the front. And in the back is the little area where I take the dogs to go to the bathroom. And we always clean up their poop and all that. But I'm like, Katie, instead of taking the poop over to the trash can, we should just throw it up onto their porch every time after.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
Make that a trash can.
Is that the plan you're putting out on the internet right now?
It's part of it.
I like it.
It's part 1. Or should it be part 2?
Oh.
Oh.
You just sound finger gun the entire internet.
Huh?
You just sound finger gunned the entire internet.
I was trying to do the
yeah,
it didn't work.
So how's the job going? Are you guys crushing it right now?
Yeah. I don't want to talk about numbers on the job, and yeah, we're doing good. We're doing all right. Yeah. But I have been playing some new games. Some new old looking games. I know you've been playing some old games, old new looking games. I've been playing some new old looking games.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
So one game I have been playing lately.
And where could people see footage of this game if they wanted to?
Yeah. So I have done some streaming on twitch.tv/gaming and drinking of Vampire Survivors. Dude, that game might be my new wind down for the night game.
It seems like a perfect game for the wind down of the night game.
Yeah, just one or 2 rounds. All right, I'm good. Time to go to bed.
I love so for people that don't know, it is I don't even know what you call the gameplay portion of it. It's like an auto battler, I guess, is the best way to put it.
It's a twin stick shooter with 1 stick.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because you're not. I guess you do have some firing and some on some of the weapons.
All based, based on which weapons you have. I've come to realize, you know, where they're going to shoot.
Yeah.
If you play just a few rounds, you'll know how all the different weapons work. But they all automatically fire. Everything's on auto fire and everything's on auto aim. So it's all about where your character is on the screen in relation to the enemies.
Right.
And so it's crazy fun. Oh my God. Like the first couple rounds that I played, Travis was on the stream with me and I was like screaming like a schoolgirl during like, because there's just like you get swarmed and you have to figure out how the hell am I going to get out of here? And you have to know where your guns are going to be shooting to get out of there.
And so we should also say that so it's the gameplay of the twin stick shooter with one stick, but it's the aesthetics of a Castlevania. So it's got the pixel graphics, the art style, even the animation looks straight out of a Castlevania game.
Oh yeah, and some of the weapons. They've got the boomerang
Bible,
cross. They've got the axe, the Bible, the whip, the Bible, the holy water. Like
almost all of it is completely based around Castlevania aesthetics, and the 100%. Music is very, very reminiscent of Castlevania as well.
And the main menu.
Yeah, the
main menu looks exactly like a Castlevania.
It looks like an NES Castlevania like box art, like the way the Dracula is like in the back or whoever. Is in the background. Very, very cool aesthetic that fits. It makes, I think, to me, it makes the gameplay go a long way because it just looks so good. Like you're all these thousands and thousands of enemies that sometimes, and they're piling on the screen and they look like a bunch of little Castlevania enemies. It's very cool.
I beat it last night, and I think on my finishing run, I beat like 20,000 enemies.
Jeez.
In one run.
That's awesome.
Because they like toward the end, dude, it's literally just a totally blocked screen of just a sea of enemies with your guy in the middle just trying to make his way out. But there's no out. There's no out because it is an endless two-dimensional screen that you're walking towards. So you can keep going up and up and up forever and you'll never reach the end. The whole point of the game is just to survive for 30 minutes. And then once you do that, then Death himself comes with his like scythe and hood and just grabs you and it's like, you're dead.
So every time I watched you play, you got killed by this like sudden skeleton mob, I guess, that would just like come down from the top and just like, there were so many that you couldn't get out of it. How did you finally beat that? Because I assume it keeps doing that.
Well, the more you play, the more you level up. You keep unlocking new weapons and new modifiers. There was one in particular called Garlic.
Garlic. I saw Garlic. That seemed to help a lot.
That one basically damages and knocks back enemies who get close to you. And if you keep leveling up Garlic, it'll do enough damage to where like most enemies can't get close enough to you to do damage.
Right.
And then there's another one that freezes time. It's called like the Clock Lance. Or something like that. And the reason it freezes enemies in place, and when they're frozen, they can't do damage to you, and you can just walk right through them. And so the reason they call it the clock is because it's on that auto fire, and it fires first. It fires up, then it like every time it fires like in a rotating clock.
Oh, cool.
Movement.
That's awesome.
So like if you have it leveled up enough, and there's like a whole screen of enemies around you, it'll just go pew 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 pew, and like all the guys in every direction will just like slowly freeze all around. Yeah. Oh, it's so cool. Oh, so that's good. Great. And I should say it is $3 on Steam. It's in early access. I don't know, like if they keep it like modifying this game and adding more stuff, adding more levels, adding more enemy types. Even though the enemy types, they all do the same thing. All they do is walk toward you. But
some are faster, some are like take a lot more damage.
Some are faster, some are spongier, some do more damage.
Some don't walk at all, like the flowers that just appear out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, those they just stand still, but like they take so much damage to kill, and they form like a whole ring around you. So the best way to do that is to just, they don't damage that much, so you can just like walk right through them and just take a little bit of damage, and then go find a floor chicken. That's what they call the turkeys.
Yeah, because in Castlevania they're called wolf meat or something like that.
Yeah.
Chicken.
Great game though, and
that'd be a good title for this episode if we get episode titles.
Floor chicken. I mean, I'd love some. I've eaten floor chicken.
Who amongst us has not eaten floor chicken? No, we're not too good for it. We're not too good for it. Yeah, I'll eat some floor chicken.
So yeah, if you get the chance, I highly recommend that game. It is addicting because it is kind of a rogue light in that you do get a currency where in between when you die, there are permanent upgrades that you can get whenever you find gold on the ground. So you can do more damage, you can have more health, all that good stuff. There are different characters you can play with, and each one has a different buff and starting weapon. So there's a lot of variation on the gameplay, but it's such a simple mechanic for the gameplay.
Yeah.
That the fact that they were able to make this into such a fun and interesting game is pretty impressive.
Because I love Castlevania, and I remember hearing about this game a few months ago, but I was totally not into it because I don't really like endless type games. But watching you play it, I'm like, oh, that looks extremely my jam, like very much my jam.
Yeah.
It does seem like the perfect wind down game, like you said, like just like a game like that has like a repetitive nature that you know what's coming, and you can, as long as you know the layouts, you can kind of like predict what's going to happen. It's perfect for that kind of thing. So
yeah. And you know, the longest you're ever going to have to play is 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That being said, you level up the entire time by collecting these little blue gems that are everywhere. And when you level up, a little menu pops up and you get to choose which power up you get moving forward. And you have to keep trying to level up because if you try to beat that game with the base starting loadout, you're going to be screwed pretty quick.
Yeah.
So you level up so much that it does add quite a bit to that 30 minutes. And then also you run around and you find these little chests. And when you find the chests, if anybody has ever played, what the heck are they? What are those machines?
Gotcha.
No, the slot machines. If you've ever played a slot machine and seen a jackpot on it, it basically does the same animation as a slot machine. Like the chest opens up and then like things start shooting, coins start shooting in the air. It's like do 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 do. It's exactly what it does.
You nailed it. That's exactly what it does.
But then, dude, there's like whenever you find some chests, only like one little ribbon of items pop up and you get like one power up. But then you can get another if you like, they're more rare, but you can get one chest where like 3 ribbons will pop up and you'll get 3 power ups. I got one last night and today on the run I just did where it's 5 power ups pop out of it at one time.
Yeah, I saw the 3, but 5. That's a game. That's a whole new game at that point.
And then like toward the end of the game, I was leveling up and for some reason I would level up and it would level me up 4 or 5 times. So like at once.
Did you ever figure out when you got the gems just started like sucking into you?
I think that's all like attributed to your luck stat.
It's like a random lucky thing that happens.
Yeah. I think there's a whole lot of RNG stuff going on behind the scenes. And that is, I think it's like it says you'll get lucky more often, meaning I think like things like that'll happen. Or there was another thing where like sometimes all the enemies on the screen will freeze for like 10 seconds. Or, you know, you'll get the chest with the 5 things instead of 1. And I think that all is attributed to your luck stat.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
It seems like a very cool game. I'm definitely into it.
Yeah. So I highly recommend it. If you are nostalgic for Castlevania or you are looking for a simple game with simple mechanics, but also is deep enough to dive into and get good at, that's a great game to jump into. And like I said, $3, you can't beat $3, dude.
Really can't. $3.
That's not even on sale. It's just a $3 game.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So anyways, that's Vampire Survivors. I think it's only on PC right now.
It'd be a great Switch game. I feel confident they will bring it to Switch at some point.
I don't know if the Switch can handle that many enemies, dude.
I mean, when does that ever stop them from porting a game to Switch?
Do you know how framey that would get at the end, especially when you got like so many different weapons firing off and everything?
Have you played Hyrule Warriors for the Switch?
Yeah.
The game runs at like 10 frames a second.
It's not great.
I don't think they care about frames on a Nintendo platform.
I mean, granted, hold on. Let me check real quick to see the file size on this.
I think it's like
it's
50 megs.
it's tiny. It is so tiny.
The music's probably the highest that takes up the most space.
Right? Hold on just a second. Let's go here. This will be on Steam.
I mean, that doesn't stop. They have The Witcher 3 on Switch, so size
there's
is not
no
really
way I've played 17 hours in this game.
No.
That's what it says though.
You probably left it running.
Yeah. Where does it show how big a game is on Steam?
Usually on the page.
Store page? Yeah, store page. Let's go there. It's got overwhelmingly positive reviews. It's got 16,000 reviews.
Nice.
I don't see the size about this game. There we go.
It's usually at the very bottom with all
it's
the
250 megs.
there you go.
It's not even a gig. And I bet the Switch still couldn't run it.
Well, the size doesn't really. The Switch
know.
has like 60 gig games on it, but
I know. But I'm just saying, like the GPU requirements. Yeah. But anyways, Vampire Survivors. Cheers to that small team. I hope they just make mega bucks, and I hope that once it really picks up steam,
wow,
it will.
Very nice.
They might charge a little more for it because they need to make more money than what they're making off that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, what you been playing?
So I have been playing a little game called Tunic, which I know that I saw your stream of it. If you haven't seen that stream, you should go check it out. Twitch.tv/gaming and drinking. Adam is pretty intoxicated, so it lives up to the moniker of gaming and drinking because he is gaming while he's drinking.
I was drunk before I started streaming.
Yeah, very.
And then I got real drunk.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, Tunic is a isometric Zelda-like where you play as a little fox.
So cute.
And it's way more about the mystery of the goings on in the game than it is about like it's exploration is the mystery. Exploration is the main gameplay hook, but there's a lot more going on to the game. I thought it was just going to be like a little Zelda-like game, but there's like so much more going on beneath the surface than there is just like gameplay stuff.
It's so smartly put together.
Yeah. One of my favorite things so far is the booklet that the instruction book you're putting together.
Love it.
And if you haven't seen the game, it is very much like an NES book with the little cartoon drawings and like liner notes and things like that.
Yeah, it's like a Nintendo Power or like a Nintendo walkthrough guide from the 90s.
It looks like a manual from the old like NES era, like something that like Mario 3 had a manual that looks almost exactly like that. Like Mario's kicking the shell and the shell goes through like different pages of the book.
Yep.
And the further you get like you'll find he starts to discover pages that have like writing on them. And most of the manual it's in the in-game language, which is like this runic language that you can't understand. And it has a little bit of English in there, but then somebody has written in like ink pen on the liner notes as well. And they'll write like little clues and things like that, which just adds to the air of mystery about the game.
So I don't think I got to a page that had like the side notes or anything like that. Are those all written in English?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Any of the like written upon stuff is in English. So what's funny is it took me forever to find the sword because you explore the thing and you go up to the top of like the hill, the furthest part you can get. And this like weird thing happens where you go to this like alternate dimension and this like Princess Zelda like fox is like trapped in some ice or something. And you like kind of release her. I think I couldn't really tell.
No, I think she gets taken away.
Did she get taken?
They kind of zooms out and she's like beating on it. And then like the Triforce appears above her. And then it's just like she's gone.
Yeah. So then they just drops you back out. And I was like, well, clearly something opened up, right? Like, I guess. No, not really. There is a door at the bottom that I think was locked, and then that does open after you do that. But you have to like squeeze in between these bushes and keep going to the right. And that's when you finally figure out the next area that you're supposed to go to. And I feel like a lot of this game is going to have those kinds of like, oh, I just didn't look hard enough. I didn't see.
Well,
this.
the way I figured it out was from the page that popped out, like the page you find that says like when you ring the east bell.
Yeah, it shows you the three,
and then it says like and then it says the areas that you need to go through to get to the east bell. And I saw on the page a big guy with a sword, and I was like, I need to go there, and maybe that guy will pop up. But I didn't put 2 and 2 together with the sword. But I was like, if I go ring this bell, I might fight this dude.
Yeah.
So I went through and found like the East Forest, and then it mentioned something about like the Heroes Cemetery.
Heroes something, yeah.
And so I was like, "Ooh, I've already been to the Heroes Cemetery. I bet the East Forest is by there." But then my drunk ass was like, "Where's the forest? Can't find it."
No forest
but I found it eventually. But yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, you do have to squeeze through some weird bushes.
You kind of like, it looks like you can't go any further, but you just like kind of squeeze through, and then you go a little bit further. And then there's like 3 different branches you can take, and one goes down, one goes up, and one like goes around a corner. And I was just like, oh, I get paralyzed with like, what should I do? Because I don't want to miss anything. But I'm like, eventually you're going to come back to this stuff anyway. So I was like, I'm going to go down this ladder. We'll see where this goes. And I think that's the actual right way that you were supposed to go, because I found the sword. So the combat's a little weird at first, especially when you just have the stick. I don't think it's very good. But when you get the sword, it kind of opens up. When you learn the stamina meter and how it works, it feels very deliberate. Hesitate to say Dark Soulsian because it's not really like that.
But that was literally my same thoughts. It's like Dark Souls for babies.
Well, I don't know if it's for babies because I hear it gets really hard later on. But the stamina meter is interesting because if you run out of stamina, you don't lose your like dodge, but you lose your iframes within the dodge. So like if it ever goes to that red marker, you'll see him like start to huff and puff or whatever. And if you get hit while you're dodging, you don't have the invincibility frames anymore. You actually take damage. And it says it in the book.
And I think you take more damage if you are out of stamina.
Yeah, I think so. Because in the instruction book, it says something like, when I drop my stamina down to here, I take more damage or something. It says something along those lines. Just a really cool, well put together game. Very smartly done. Very, very pretty looking. Very cute. But also like this air of mystery that seems a little more sinister than the actual like cuteness vibe.
Yeah,
gives off.
I really like that it's kind of a cool like juxtaposition of like really cute fox.
Yeah.
Really obtuse game.
Yeah, really strange. Like, what am I supposed to do next? Like, kind of thing. Like,
it looks like a kid's game, but it's not a kid's game, which I appreciate that about games. I appreciate that about cartoons like Rick and Morty. Like
we say that about this, but like games in the NES era were designed like this. So like it is kind of still a kid's game. Like I was playing, Zelda and Metroid when I was 6. So
true. I wasn't beating Metroid when I was 6 though.
Maybe. I don't remember.
I
know I beat Zelda. So
hold on just a second. Keep going. I'm still listening.
But I think it's a game that like if you're like of age and you can understand stuff, you could probably be able to still play it and get through it and have a good time with it. It's definitely a lot more required thinking than I think a lot of people might give it credit for at first.
Oh yeah.
But once you start playing it, you can definitely tell like this is not your average Zelda. Like this is something a lot more. And it's really cool. I'm definitely going to play through it. I like it a lot. It's cute and it's fun.
Yeah, I'm probably going to keep playing it as well. There are a couple of other games that I've started. I have such a bad habit of starting games that are 50 hours long, but I have heard that this one is not. I think it's just a little more than like a dozen hours long. So maybe that's better. But I have a bad habit of jumping into big games and then not finishing them. But Tunic, I agree that it's a fantastic kind of a show of how to design a isometric game. Because there's a lot of isometric games out there. There's not a whole lot that I've gotten this kind of buzz.
No.
The one that comes to
been
mind,
in development for like 7 years too. I think people have been looking forward to it for a long time.
Yeah. The one that comes to mind though is Death's Door, which is a great game from last year. It's a lot more straightforward in what you're supposed to do. But I think people in general are starting to like games that don't hold your hand at all, that kind of just give you the freedom to go and just explore and figure it the hell out. Elden Ring's a great example. You know, it all pretty much started with Breath of the Wild, but now all the games that try to do that, there are some that fall flat on their face, but the ones that really do it and make it sing, people love them. They're critical and audience delights. And
because it's more fun to discover stuff on your own than it is to be handheld.
Exactly.
It's like the antithesis of the Ubisoft design philosophy.
Yeah.
And I think you're getting a lot more of that because of the success of Dark Souls and of Breath of the Wild. Those kind of games that just give you the freedom to kind of, hey, this is the world. We made this awesome world for you to go out and discover it. Let's see what we did. It's a lot more immersive than a game that kind of just gives you like points to go to. And yeah, I appreciate that about all those games. So keep doing it, devs. Keep trusting your audience. I hope people take the right lessons from Elden Ring and like don't think that like, oh, mega difficulty or like big open world is what it's the mystery and it's the discovery that people really love about that game, and
the variation of like environments and characters and tone that makes Elden Ring as awesome as it is. And yeah, the mysteries, like that game just has so many secrets, and the thing is, like, some of those secrets in Elden Ring, they're not discoverable if like there's a guy somewhere, if you do something earlier in the game, that guy might not be there anymore. But then the discussion around that gets passed around on like on Reddit and Twitter and stuff, like people love to discuss things that they've discovered.
Yeah, that kind of discussion is the coolest thing on the planet. Like, it really is just, did you find this? Like, oh no, I didn't see that, but I saw, did you see this? That kind of, it's just so, that reminds me of Breath of the Wild, like discussing that back in the day when you'd be like, dude, did you go over here? Did you see there's like a giant dragon on this side of the map? Like, no, dude, I didn't see that. But then there's, this bridge with like memories on it. It's just so much cool stuff.
Yeah, it really gets me excited for Breath of the Wild too. If it ever comes out.
2025, we'll see you there.
Oh man. But yeah, I think it's about time to take a quick break because I am done with this quad, and I can tell I am done with this quad.
Quad's done with you too.
Yeah, it is. Golden Drak, I have slain thee.
Wow. There's an episode title.
All right, we'll be right back with more Booze and Games.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Gaming and Drinking Cast. Episode 14. We are here. We have been talking so far. We have talked about some Vampire Survivors, some Tunic. And now we're going to talk about some more beer for a second.
Yes, we are. So this one we have different beers, but they're both by the same brewing company, which I love. This brewing company, they have fantastic can art, really good beers, very expensive, but very good. They're called Humble Forager, and they are out of, I should have looked at this before I started. They're out of like Milwaukee. Yeah. Waunakee, not Milwaukee, I'm sorry. Waunakee, Wisconsin. Mine is called Mixing with Barrel Theory. It is an Imperial Tiki Sour with passion fruit, orange, spices, pomegranate, calamansi, lime, and almond. And it's an Imperial, so I assume it's pretty high ABV. I can't see what it is on there right now, but I'm going to pour it. It looks like this.
I am gonna say might should have looked at the date on this before I bought it.
Oh yeah, what's the date on it?
April 3rd, 21. It should be fine, right? IPA.
It's a year old. It should be all right.
Yeah. Yeah. It should
Mine
be
says
fine.
enjoyed by 12/19/22, so we're good over here.
Yeah. I just saw there's a lot floating around in there.
I've drank many other beers. There's usually a lot floating around in there.
Okay.
They
Okay.
they don't use like puree and shit. It's all locally sourced and it's all
Okay.
good.
So yeah. It's because there's oats in it.
Yeah, also oats.
That is a straight up oat I see in there. It's called Cloud Hopping. This is an oat cream IPA with Galaxy, Mosaic, Cryo, Cashmere, and Idaho 7 hops.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
Very pretty can art.
Yeah.
A lot of their stuff has like watercolor,
Yes.
like scenery. So yeah. Cheers, Travis.
Cheers.
Have you tried yours yet?
I have not.
All right. Mm.
Oh wow, mine's really fucking good.
Yeah, same. That is, oh God. You don't taste an IPA that is creamy like that.
Unless it's got lots of milk, sugar, and lactose in it. Adam likes it creamy, so
Very true. The creamier the better.
that's what he's
The
always saying.
cream always rises to the top.
Did you just turn into Macho Man Randy Savage?
Yes, I did, brother.
Speaking of that, did you see that game coming out? Have you seen this? It's a pixel art wrestling RPG starring Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh my God. He's dead.
What? No, he's not.
Isn't Macho Man dead?
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure
Maybe.
Macho Man's dead.
Maybe it wasn't him then. I don't think he is.
I mean, the estate could have agreed to it.
That's true. Our likenesses will never go away now. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he died in 2011, dude.
What? Where have I been? Maybe it wasn't him. I
mean, they're probably giving that vibe off though. He is the greatest wrestler of all time.
Andre the Giant might disagree. But it's definitely someone like, if it's not him, it's someone of that same caliber, someone really famous.
Yeah.
And they might have just used his likeness. Maybe they got permission from the folks at the estate.
Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
He's also dead, but you know,
they're all dead.
All the good ones, except for Ric Flair. Somehow,
Ric Flair is somehow still alive. Out of everybody, I don't know how that man is the one that's still alive, but
yeah.
But yeah, the game looks fucking awesome. It's a top-down isometric or top-down 16-bit style JRPG.
Is it
starring with wrestling?
Is it like turn-based?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. It's not out yet. I don't know what the gameplay is going to be like. But
if it's like a turn-based like combat situation where it's like you get to choose
like
from
suplexing
like
which suplex you want to do,
which suplex or like which grapple or like
each wrestler has their own like set of it's instead of magic they just have their like special moves.
Yeah, I could so get down with that.
It's called WrestleQuest, I think is the name of it.
I wonder if it's by the same people that did Golf Story.
Maybe they were working on I think they're working on Golf Story 2, which is like a big follow-up. Hold on. WrestleQuest.
What a name.
WrestleQuest is the name of it. It is Macho Man Randy Savage. He is the lead character.
I think he'd be down with that if he was still alive.
It looks great. The aesthetic is great. Choose your moves, style, taunts, and even your entrance as you learn what it takes to be the cream of the crop.
The cream always rises to the top.
It's Skybound Games and Mega Cat Studios. I don't think that's the people who did Golf Story. Skybound is like Skybound is the publisher. They do a lot of stuff.
Mega Cat.
I'm trying to see what else they've done. I'm looking at their things.
I mean, I always love when people can take a really weird concept and make a fun, like just cool RPG with it.
This game looks the just the aesthetic alone makes me like I will buy this game because of what it looks like. Even if I don't even like the gameplay that much, it just looks incredible.
Does it look like a 90s game?
No, it looks way better than that. But it still has that pixel art style that just looks. It's like what people think 90s games in their memory. This is what they look like. It's not actually
like
what
pretty.
They look like.
It's like a pretty pixel art kind of thing.
Yeah. It looks like a Steam World type game, like that kind of pixel art, just really gorgeous. Could not have been done on the SNES, but like kind of looks like what you remember the SNES games looking like, that kind of thing. That's how that is.
Hell yeah. I mean, if they all looked like Clay Fighter, Clay Fighter would be all right.
Clay Fighter probably does not look as good as you remember it looking. I bet
I was like, this shit looks so real.
If you looked it up right now, I bet you'd be like, oh, that looks like shit. Because Clay Fighter does not look very good. But
you should play Clay Fighter on. Oh, we'll get there.
Yeah. I actually I'm gonna see if I can download that right now. All right. So what are we here for? What are we doing?
We're talking about some games, man. So
what did you bring to class today?
We're showing and we're telling, more telling than showing. But if you want to see the show, you can catch me on WrestleMania 17, where I'll be taking on the Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan in a 3-way cage match.
Beautiful.
We're all gonna be rubbing hot sauce all over ourselves and just diving off the top rope into a bowl of Jello pudding.
What's the difference between Clay Fighter and Clay Fighter Tournament Edition? Ultra Turbo.
Dude,
you should look up some screenshots of this game because I guarantee you it does not look as good as you remember it looking. It looks so bad.
No.
Yes, it does.
I'll look them up later.
Oh my God, it looks so bad. Okay.
I'll
play it on stream for you soon.
All right. That was Macho Man. We're trying to podcast over here. Sorry, I had to kick Macho Man out real quick.
Did she think that Macho Man was in the room?
No, I was kicking Macho Man out.
Oh, Macho Man actually came in your room.
Yeah, he came in my room and he was trying to talk to me about WrestleMania 17 and hot sauce and shit. I don't know.
Very nice.
But no. So I have been playing Dragon Quest 11S Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition on
I love that it's such a concise title. So it gets it all there in just a few words.
Mm-hmm. It's a real good game though. There is also a stream of that up on twitch.tv/gaming and drinking. If you want to go check that out. That's a really fun game. I love just old school JRPGs. I think that's one thing. There are a lot. Me and Travis have a lot of video game differences in our tastes, but one thing we both agree on is that JRPGs are amazing. Classic JRPGs are amazing.
As you can see.
Yep. And should be celebrated. I know a lot of people like to talk shit on those now and like how the gameplay is boring, blah, blah, blah.
I think it's kind of 50. Like some people hate it and the people who love it just absolutely love it. And there's nothing you're going to tell them. So
yeah, and there's a lot of people just like me and you out there who adore those games. Because they're a lot deeper, I think, than the people that hate on them give them credit for. And Dragon Quest 11S is perfect. Like it is a master class in what a classic JRPG should be like. I haven't enjoyed a JRPG like this in a while. It plays just like old school Dragon Quest, except it's now in 3D. You
can run around the battlefield for some reason, even though it doesn't do anything. They put you in like a little sumo ring for the battles, and you can run around. But literally running around, I thought so when they first showed me that I could run around, I was like running to the edge of the ring to like see if the guys would attack my teammates before they attack me. And it's like no, they just run around to the edge of the ring and hit you.
It's like,
There's
okay.
literally no. I think that I remember I read a thing about it, and they were like, yeah, we put it in there because people expect you to be able to move in a modern game, but the gameplay is still functionally the same exact thing.
So I would like run right up behind the bad guys and like try to do like
see to
extra
get like a critical hit or something.
Did nothing.
Nope, doesn't do that.
But
No.
I think that's funny and really self-aware that they did that. But you can turn that off to where it plays exactly like an old school JRPG where you're standing one team over here, one team over there. And I turned it off just because I get distracted, because whenever I'm in a JRPG fight menu, all I want my left stick to do is go through menus. And when you're in that, like where you can run around kind of mode, my left stick isn't doing the thing that I want it to do in those battles.
Moving people around
for no reason at all.
I'm getting positioning, even though I'm not.
Yeah. But no, I actually think that's funny, and I appreciate that they put that in there. Also, another thing that's funny, and I appreciate that they put in there, but I don't really mess with, is the 2D mode. They put up a whole nother straight up Dragon Quest old school game inside of this. It's the same game, same storyline, same gameplay, other than the fact that, you know, the modern one is done in like this really pretty 3D rendering, but then they made the whole game in 2D old school Dragon Quest, with like the old school fight menus, the old school overworld, everything. Yep. Which I appreciate that they did, and I tried it. But then I was like, I'm going to go back, because the new game it's fully voice acted, which we can get into that in a minute. But you have to appreciate that voice acting.
Yeah.
And then also, there's none of that in the 2D version. There's none of like the animations. There's just a lot more to drink in and appreciate from the 3D mode than the 2D mode.
Yeah. The game looks great too, so it's very easy to appreciate the 3D models and the the stuff they did. The guy, except for the main character's hair, I don't know why they went with that, but
right, it is like a straight up mop on there.
You get different. We talked about this before, but not on a live podcast. You get armor sets later on that will let you change the appearance of your character. It's only certain armor sets, and once you find them, you unlock the ability to change the cosmetics permanently. Even if you sell that armor set, you still get the unlocks for those cosmetics, which I think is a super cool idea. I wish it were every armor set, but I understand, you know, like that's not...
we were talking about something similar to that with the Spider-Man games, and how, like, you know, when you unlock an armor set,
you were talking about Ghost of Tsushima,
and how you can't.
Yeah.
You get a lot of stuff that unlocks different appearances, but they also unlock different abilities that they are locked onto that armor set. But hey, I think Katie is having a quick issue in the kitchen that I need to go help her with. So give me just a second. I will be right back. I apologize. We will continue this Dragon Quest stuff in just a second. More booze and games. Be right back.
And we're back.
Oh, technical difficulties are over.
I think you might have redlined, because I didn't hear that on my end. Very nice. There you go.
Okay.
Oh, I almost lost it.
Yeah. So we were having some technical difficulties in my apartment that I had to go deal with. But we're back, and we're talking Dragon Quest XI-S. And we're talking about this asshole's hair.
The Luminary.
I mean, I gotta say, I love him as a character. I hate his hair.
His hair is terrible. It's awful. It's just such a bad design decision. I don't know why they went. Like, half the time during cutscenes, I'd be looking at like, oh, this is a badass scene. Also, why does his hair look like that? Like, it's hard for me to concentrate on what's going on.
Yeah, and there's another character that I saw that also had his hair. A little kid. It wasn't young him either. It was like another little kid.
A lot of people have this, like, I think it's supposed to be like flowing, like medieval hair. I think that's what they're going for, but it just doesn't come out that way.
It's so bad.
Have you got the sister characters yet?
I just got the first one. Okay. And I haven't even done anything with her yet. We're literally leaving Sweat Town or whatever.
Sweat Town, that's the name of it.
Yeah, so
Sweat Town.
Sweat Town is or Sweat City, I don't know.
Neither one of those are correct.
Is a sauna on the side of a mountain where you can go and sweat.
And you see the sauna like from wherever you are in the village, you see like the big sauna in the background. It's a really cool looking place.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's really weird in a great way. Like
it's weird in a JRPG way, like a very JRPG, like
in a very Dragon Quest way.
Yeah, very Dragon Quest. I love the characters in this game. You're going to meet a lot more. There's some darker characters and stuff. And then there's also one other guy.
Talking about Eric?
His name is Eric. I don't know what it is with Eric, but the first time we talked about this game, the first thing that both of you and I mentioned was Eric and his accent. Now, Eric is a great character. He's a very good character. He's like a rogue, blue hair, spiky, very Dragon Ball Z. Toriyama did the art for this, which we've mentioned before. He does all the art for all the Dragon Quest games. That's why all the characters look like Dragon Ball Z characters. Eric is literally, he looks like he was taken out of a Dragon Ball game show. But
he does, but he does not sound that way.
He does not sound like Goku. He sounds like a Dutch guy trying to do a Jersey accent or something like that. Like just this warbled, weird thing they're going. I don't know what they're going for, but
they got it. Whatever it is, they nailed it. I don't know what it is, but they nailed it.
It's endearing. It makes his character more endearing. I do agree with that. But man, it's weird because he will start in like one accent and then end in another accent. His character is just all over the place. Like it almost starts in like a British thing sometimes, and then it ends with like this like over there, like this like wise guy type thing.
I can't even do it, and I'm a master of accents. And
that's what people call you all the time.
I can't even do that one. Like
people often say you are a master of accents. Nail all of them.
Everybody in Colombia who's looking for a voice actor that can do all the accents, they call me.
That's right. They call you. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But Eric is a great character. I don't know what they were going for with that, but I think just like all the design choices they make in this game, it serves to make him a little more memorable. It's not. There's nothing like boilerplate about this game, and I think that's what makes it so special.
Yeah. Other than the combat is very traditional JRPG, and that is what I love so much about this is that like everything about it screams unique, and then but it's this familiar cocktail of gameplay that people like you and me love.
It's familiar, but at the same time being like very weird in each and every aspect. Even like the combat is very familiar, but it's also super weird in some parts of it, like the running around the map for no reason whatsoever. And also the combination effects you can put together. Some of the spells you get later on are super weird.
I don't think I've gotten far enough to get into that stuff yet. I really am just now, I think, starting to get into the meat of the game.
Yeah, you're getting 2 spellcasters right now, and that changes up the gameplay significantly.
Can't wait.
And you'll get like later on you'll find I think we mentioned before the like dual attacks or whatever. Oh no, the pepped up.
Yeah.
So pepped up is cool. It's basically your character goes Super Saiyan and you can unleash the attack all at once with a pep attack, or you can let it stay on your character and just attack regularly, which boosts your stamina, your defense and your attack. And it's a cool, like you said, it's the same JRPG combat we've known for a long time, but it puts this weird little unique, very specific to this game spin on it. And I think that nails what exactly makes this game special. Just like what you said earlier about the graphics and the aesthetics, like it looks amazing. It doesn't look very different from a whole lot of other JRPGs when you just look at the surface level stuff, but the weird stuff inside of it is what makes it so cool. Like when I was watching you play on stream the other day, you were fighting one of the Ongo Bongo guys.
Yeah.
And he's just like this big troll looking dude. And he's got a drum with a face on it. And the face is constantly animating during the fight. And you just don't see that kind of shit in like these
it reminds me of like a Studio Ghibli kind of scenario, kind of.
Yep.
And there was one fight I was in, like right before you get the orb that will open the door of departure. Which if you don't aren't familiar with this game, that's kind of, you need to get this orb before you can really get out into the world. But there's these two enemies guarding it, and they are like these griffin guys, but they got 3 eyes and they got like huge like tongues that are just like flopping out of their mouth the whole time. And I was about to start that fight, and I was in the cut scene right before, but they were in like a cut scene where it's like, it's all text. It's a lot of text cut scenes where you have to tap through, or you can put it on autoplay. I took it off of autoplay so I could walk away. And then Katie was sitting on my bed while this like little griffin guy, it's just like a close up on his face, just like doing this over and over. And I come back in and he's got like 3 eyes and like warts and a tongue. And Katie's like, "What game are you playing? And why is everything so creepy?" And I'm like, it's not everything.
It's a feature, not a bug.
Yeah. And it really is like, if you like weird anime, you will like Dragon Quest XI S Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition.
It's awesomely concise Square Enix titles.
I'm just gonna start calling it Dragon Quest XI.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that a better way to say it?
DQ11, I think, is what a lot.
DQ11.
Yeah, Dairy Queen 11.
Oh, God,
Some Dairy Queen.
I could go for a Blizzard.
Oh God, I would murder a Blizzard right now. I did 5 miles at the Riverwalk earlier. I am hungry.
Nice. I did 3. Yeah. I did 3. I ran 3 miles today for the first time in a long time, and probably like 4 or 5 months.
Last time. Huh? Yeah, you got sick. Remember? Last time you ran, you got sick.
Oh, I'm just like, I'm used to it at this point. It's the allergies, man.
There were a lot of pollen on the walk today.
The allergies are messing me up real bad. But yeah, I ran 3 miles today. I'm actually doing a half marathon in June if you want to join me. June 25th. Yeah. Let's do it.
25th to 10. All right. That's 3 months to get in shape.
Yeah, dude. I'm actually super stoked. It gives me a reason to get in shape instead of just like, I should get in shape.
Half marathon, 7 miles, right?
13.
Oh, fuck. Jesus.
13.1. A full marathon is 26.2.
Oh my God. All right. All right. I guess I can't have the Blizzard now.
Oh, you can have the Blizzard. I mean, I ran 3 miles and I burned like 500 calories.
Yeah, we burned 620 on our.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. So you can have a Blizzard after that, or you can have a bunch of really delicious beer.
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, the art style in this game, amazing. The character design in this game, amazing. The writing in this game, amazing. Very voice acting, either hilarious or amazing, depending on which character.
It all fits.
Hold on. What, Katie? Hold on. Oh.
Good sound.
Yeah. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Sorry for that weird jump cut that I know is coming. But I had a little bit of an emergency I had to go take care of last night. But we are back and we are finishing this goddamn episode because we are not recording it for a 4th time.
The universe doesn't want it, but we're going to give it to him anyway.
You know what? You're taking episode 14 and you're going to like it.
All the energies have conspired against us, but we're still going to get it out there.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. But yeah, we do still have one more beer from last night that we are able to finish and drink today. Did you get the same one as me?
I think we got 2 different ones. They're both Untitled Art.
Yep.
They're both stouts, Untitled Art. Mine is a donut pastry stout. That's all it says on it.
Mine is a cinnamon roll gold stout, so it's a little lighter in color than like your typical dark stout. It's a gold stout. Really cool color though.
Yeah, that looks good. I love a pastry stout.
Smells delicious.
Mine is 8%. What's yours rocking?
Oh wow, that is sweet.
Yeah, it's assume it's cinnamon.
That is very, very sweet. It's like sugar and cinnamon. 8% as well. That, oh my God, that aftertaste is literally just a cinnamon roll though.
That smells good. I bet that's good. Mine,
Yeah.
mine tastes like a stout. I'm not picking up a whole lot of the donut, maybe a chocolate donut a little bit, but
Dude, that's a straight up cinnamon roll. I think because it's the blonde or the gold stout instead of
yeah, so the
like
dark
a
stout,
dark stout.
roasted
Wow.
stout.
Wow,
It's
that
good.
is yummy. Highly recommended. I don't know where does Untitled Art distribute everywhere, or is it like a southeastern kind of thing?
I'm not sure. Wanakee, Wisconsin, another
Okay.
Wanakee. So the one I had last night from where was our second beer from?
Oh God.
Oh, wow.
The
Doing really
Golden
good.
Drac was the first one,
Yeah.
and then the second one
Oh, the second one
was
was Humble Forager, which
Humble Forager. Yep.
was also out of Wanakee, Wisconsin.
Oh
So
man.
I wonder if they're because I feel like Untitled Art has a lot of collabs. I wonder if they do,
Yeah.
like they just have a bunch of different people come by and brew stuff at their brewery. So that's cool. Good to find that out that they're both from the same.
Yeah.
Got to be a small town because I've never heard of Wanakee, Wisconsin until
Wanakee, man. They
last
got good.
night.
They got good brewers. I know that much.
Apparently they do. It's like the new Mecca, the new Asheville.
The Asheville of Wisconsin.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what they call it, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so when we finished last night, we were abruptly finished last night. We were finishing up talking about Dragon Quest 11S, Echoes of an Elusive Age, Definitive Edition.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we could kind of just move on from that to what have you been? What's the last thing you've been playing, Travis?
So the only thing that's taken me away from Elden Ring is my current obsession with ROMs and getting them running on modern PCs. Mostly I started doing this to get, if you don't know what ROMs are, it's emulation of old consoles, video games from my childhood and not even the childhood, like PS2 era stuff. It started, I wanted to play through Silent Hill 2 again, and finding a copy of that online was very expensive. So then I went the ROM way and found some cool ROM hacks, things like that.
ROM way or the highway?
Yeah, there you go. That's what they say.
Right way and the ROM way.
And I've been steadily just trying out a bunch of new emulators and things like that, trying to upscale old games because I want them to look like the games that they are, the way they were made. I don't really want to put any filters on them. I know a lot of people use like filters on SNES games and it makes them kind of look like smeared jelly. It makes them look less pixelated, but it kind of loses the beautiful pixel art that they're known for. So really what I like to do is I like to upscale them using, modern renderers and make them look better by upscaling that resolution as much as I can. I've been currently playing Legend of Dragoon, which is an old PS1 JRPG.
No, I'm thinking of what am I thinking of?
Panzer
Dragoon, yeah,
is what you're thinking of. This game it's very slow paced. It came out right after Final Fantasy VII, so it's got like that. They're definitely going for Final Fantasy VII vibes. It's not quite as good, but it's got a great story and some cool combat. It's like rhythm based button combat instead of just hitting like attack. You're trying to hit these button presses on a timing window. Pretty fun. But I really just like how good it looks on my computer and on my TV screen when I send it out to the Steam Deck or the Steam. What do you call that thing?
Steam Link.
Steam Link, yeah.
Do you have an extra one of those that I could get?
No, but you could probably find one on eBay for like $5. At one point, I bought mine for $5 from Valve. So
I need to.
You probably find them for incredibly cheap. So the reason I started doing this is because I wanted to get ready for the Steam Deck, which will supposedly eventually make its way into my hands. I was in Q2. Now my order has been delayed to Q3. So who knows when that's going to be. But this has all led me down a new hole, which is the ROM hack world. Basically, people are editing ROMs and like going into the code and changing the games completely. There's everything from like bug fixes to retranslations. There's a Final Fantasy VI version that I'm playing where they take the new translation from the GBA version and they put it in the SNES ROM so that you get the best of both worlds. You get like the newer translation, but also the gameplay from the pre-GBA version. But there's also like way more expansive ones where they're replacing sprites, making a whole new story out of it. I've seen multiple prequels and sequels to Super Metroid that exist within the same like confines of the ROM of Super Metroid. They're just changing the map up, they're changing sprites, they're adding new enemies, things like that. And one of my favorite ones that I've gone down is I've never really been a Pokemon person. I think we talked about this on the show before. I do want to try to understand why people like Pokemon. So I've been researching and gathering up different versions to play. It turns out people really like Fire Red, which is I think a GBA remake of the original Pokemon Red. Is what
it's there's Fire Red and Leaf Green, and basically they're just colorized versions of the original Red and Blue.
But no, they're redone. They're brand new games in the GBA version engine. They're not colorized, like they're not just the Game Boy game recolorized. It's on a GBA engine because I can tell the difference between a Game Boy graphic and graphics from the Game Boy and graphics from the Game Boy Advance.
I mean, they might have like higher pixel numbers and stuff, but like it's the exact same game.
Yes, but but they've remade it. They didn't like just slap a new coat of paint on it. Like it's pre-programmed from the bottom up. There is what you're talking about is like something, I can't remember the name of it, but I did see the GB color versions of the original Leaf or Green and Red. But this is like basically how they did
Dog, you ain't gonna tell me that Fire Red and Leaf Green are not the exact same game as Red and Blue.
I mean, they're the content is the same, but
yes.
They are
rebuilt. It's a remake.
It's rebuilt.
It's a remake.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It's not like a shiny new coat of paint, but like that. It doesn't look like a Game Boy Color game. It looks like a GBA game. But anyway, the Fire Red is like apparently the most popular one for ROM hacking. They've done everything I saw one where they made like a cyberpunk dystopian future with Pokemon. So like the cities, like cityscapes are all like run down, futuristic Blade Runner looking cities, but then there's Pokemon running around and you're like trying to, save the world by gathering Pokemon. And this is like really dark story. I saw one that was like a lot of them just basically go through the index of like however many Pokemon there are now, like 186 or something like that. And they add them all back into like the old games.
Dude, so there are like over 1,000 now, I think.
Maybe it's like 700 something. I'm talking pre Sword and Shield, not pre Sword and Shield. I think it's something like 700 something. But yeah, they'll just add all these like sprites and character Pokemon animations and things like that, and you can find them all within like the confines of the old games. And one of the ones I was looking at was like basically to take some of the like headache stuff away, like the quality of life stuff that I guess later games have improved upon, and gives you that kind of interface with the old game, old sprites, old character, old story. And I think what a lot of people do is what it kind of comes down to is people basically every Pokemon story is the same. Like you're a young person and you're going to different gyms and you're trying to prove
you want to be the very best that no one ever was. The best.
So people are like adding actual stories into the game. I know there is story in the game outside of that stuff, but that's the basic plot of almost all of them. But people are adding like, who's the doctor that helps you?
Professor Oak.
This like the history of Professor Oak. Like you can like a young Professor Oak help him out, and then there's one that tells the story of like Ash before he got to like the first island, like his like journey to the first island. All these different like little rabbit holes that people have like fleshed out the lore,
fan fictioned it up.
Yeah, basically. But they do a lot of quality of life improvements, which is what I really like about a lot of these hacks. A lot of the stuff that I'm into is how can we make these old games that have like these really archaic button presses. Like if you play Earthbound now, for instance, there's no way to just hit like A to check something. You have to go into the menu and then hit like talk or hit search or whatever, like old Dragon Quest games, unless you hit the like right bumper, which is like a really awkward way to do that. And I saw a hack where somebody had like put that button press on A and then the other one on like X where, most menu buttons live. Just little stuff like that you don't think would make like a huge difference, but actually does if you're used to playing modern games. It's really, really cool stuff. So that's what I've been obsessed with. And I love like adding stuff to it to make it look a little bit better and run a little bit better. Running old PS2 games in particular at 60 frames at 1080p is incredible. Like it's just because what you see is that these games are the art design is so good that it actually holds up and by current, modern day standards. I think I sent you a screenshot of Silent Hill 3.
Yeah,
it looks fantastic. Like
the
lighting is
great.
Really good, and you see that art design goes such a long way, and those old games still hold up. Like the gameplay is still there. This allows you to play them in a more modern looking context, and it's awesome. And I'm addicted to it. Like I'm trying to just settle down and play one game, but I just keep getting like, oh, I wonder what that looks like. Oh, I wonder what that looks like.
I would like to see like PS2, Dreamcast, all those games, Xbox. I would like to see those emulated with like ray tracing.
I'm sure somebody's doing that work. I think in particular, I think Xbox already did some of that with their backwards compat stuff. They found a way to add ray tracing to a lot of their old games. But I'd like to see, especially Dreamcast. I think those games are so colorful and kind of weird as it is that I think that would be really cool to see. Some of the Silent Hill in particular has some incredible lighting effects that I'm like, that looks better than a lot of modern games without ray tracing, lighting and stuff.
Crazy Taxi with ray tracing.
Crazy Taxi with ray runs at 10 frames a second, but it looks great.
Oh, dude, not on these. I bet we could get it up to that 60.
No, you know how when people like take Minecraft and add a bunch of ray tracing to it and it goes at like 12 frames, even though it looks incredible. That's the kind of thing I'm thinking about. Oh, that reminds me. I need to go to somebody added the Quake 2 ray tracing mod that looks supposed to look really good. Because Quake 2, I remember when that came out, that was one of the first games that ever had colored lighting, and it just like blew my like 13-year-old brain away. I was like, oh my God, this is the best looking games will never look better than this. So
here
I really
we
want
are.
to see that.
Dude, I'm looking at Steam links right now. The cheapest one I see is $30, and that's on Mercari.
I don't even know what that is.
They're going up to on eBay. It's looking like around $100. There's somebody trying to sell it for $1,000. It's
because they don't. It's because Steam doesn't
website.
make them anymore, and they gave them away for some. I should have bought. I thought about buying like 3 more back when they did that just to have.
They're going. It looks like roughly $50 to $100 mostly.
Damn, that's crazy. I cannot believe that because I literally bought mine for $5. It was one of the best purchases I've ever made.
I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna spend the 40. Oh, dude, what is this? Oh, somebody made a Steam Link like stick-on skin that looks like an NES.
Oh, that's cool.
Neat. Yeah, I need to get one just because I have a lot of RPGs that I would love to play from bed.
Yeah, exactly.
That I think a Steam Link would be perfect for.
That's a lot of my thing is like, I don't want to sit at my computer. If I'm playing computer games with a controller, or if I'm playing video games with a controller, I kind of want to be sitting down. If I'm playing them with a mouse and keyboard, I'm fine with being like over my desk. But when I'm playing games with like a mouse or a controller, I kind of feel like I want to have my legs kicked up and like lean back. And
yeah, unless if it's like a Twitch game, like a first person shooter or something, I feel like a Steam Link wouldn't cut it.
No, for sure, definitely not. But it's perfect for like emulating RPGs or even emulate. Like I played Silent Hill.
Is there like a bit of latency involved?
So Legend of Dragoon has that timing based stuff I was talking about, and I'm able to pull it off almost every time. I'm sure there is latency, but your brain kind of adjusts for it. Okay. I wouldn't want to play like a competitive first person shooter on it, but I think you could even get away with playing like, old school like Jedi Knight or something like that. I think you'd be fine playing that on a Steam Link. The latency at my house, at least, is pretty low. Like I don't notice any dropped frames or anything like that. It will occasionally hitch up, and by occasionally I mean like very, very rarely. And you'll see like the Wi-Fi indicator pop up, and it's like you can tell something's happening, but then it smooths out like a second later, and it's not even a big deal. And that happens very infrequently. But it's a cool little device, especially if you want something where you can like kick back and kind of relax and play these older games and stuff like that.
Yeah, somebody's selling a bundle of the Steam Link with the Steam controller for $220.
Steam controller not my favorite thing in the world, but
That's
I'll
funny.
play the Link all the time. It does have Link compatibility, and it recognizes all my DualShocks 5 and 4 anytime I boot it up.
Does it need a power supply, or does it
it has a power supply?
It comes with a power supply, so you plug it in
Yeah.
and then plug it into the TV, and then bada bang, bada boom, you're done.
Yeah. Yep. Just hook up do the Wi-Fi thing. It automatically detects your computer that has Steam running on it, and then you click in and it launches Steam Big Picture mode on your computer and just streams that picture to your TV.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I need
and
it.
you can minimize it. And I haven't had any luck because I tried to play like Tunic on it using the Microsoft, because Microsoft hates DualShocks. So I tried to play Tunic on that and it did not work at all. I could play Tunic just fine on my PC with the DualShock without even running DS Windows. But for some reason over the Steam Link, it does not recognize devices outside of the Steam Link, like a controller device.
I wonder if I could just cast my PC screen to my TV and play stuff.
Do you have like a cast option?
I'm sure I could do it. Yeah.
You would have to have a program like a Sling or something like that to let you.
Oh, I can cast to my TV from my phone and stuff, like screen mirror on my phone.
Yeah, for your phone, but I don't know that there's an option. You probably have to download software or something. Well, it would have to have a compatible app on your computer or some kind of thing some way to recognize that it's being cast to.
Gonna do some research.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a way to do that.
Without having to spend $50 on a Steam Link. Now I can't believe they're going for 50, dude. And the whole time I remember when they were going on sale for like $4, $5.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I should get one. But then I'm like, I don't have a PC and I don't know when I'm going to get one.
Yeah.
And now I have one and I'm like, fuck, I should have gotten one.
Future proof. That's what I got it for. Like my PC was hooked up to my TV at the time and I was still like, oh nope, I'm gonna buy it. I'd never know when I'm gonna need this, but it's $5. Like it almost hurts to not buy it at that point.
I'm closing this window out. It's pissing me off.
It's perfect for retro gaming, which makes me happy because that makes me excited for when the Steam Deck finally comes and I'm able to retro game on that. I am so excited for that.
Yeah,
I'll have a full gaming and drinking report on the Steam Deck when it finally arrives in my hot little hands here in a few months.
In Q3.
whenever that nebulous time frame is.
I mean, Q3 is not too bad. That's like June through September.
Yeah, but it was Q2, which would be right now. That's when my original launch window was.
Yeah,
I'm scared it's gonna get pushed back again because some people are now getting late Q3. Mine still just says Q3. So hopefully that means like June, not fucking August or something like that.
Yeah.
September.
Yeah. But yeah, so what other I know you said you've been playing RE2, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Legend of
Dragoon.
Legend of Dragoon. Any other games you've been emulating?
I played a lot of Xenogears, which I'm gonna start that over and play that after I beat Legend of Dragoon. I've been playing a bunch of weird Japanese games that have been retranslated. Mother 3, which is Earthbound, the sequel to Earthbound. A bunch of like SNES level or era games like Bahamut Lagoon, and I can't even pronounce some of them. Stuff like that, just weird stuff that I wasn't able to play before. I've been playing just anything that I can get my hands on that has like a little bit of nostalgia or like this thing that I've read about but haven't ever actually put my hands on. I've been playing anything I can find like that. I also played a ROM hack. Do you remember Super Mario RPG?
Oh yeah, dude, that game was amazing.
So there's a hack for that called Armageddon, and they add like Final Fantasy bosses in it. They add
oh my gosh,
playable Rosalina, playable there's somebody else. It's like Rosalina and somebody else that from the Mario canon. And then they add like 50 new weapons and magic types and all this other stuff.
I think that game is on the Switch on the Super Nintendo Online now.
It's not.
It's not?
No, I would have played through it already if it was.
Oh no, I played it. I played it on my
handheld.
RG351V.
Yeah, I was gonna say. You could also put hacks on that thing.
Yeah, that's what I need to get more into that. I haven't really dived into that yet. But I will.
There's some really good stuff in there. You can mine couldn't play. It could run PS1 games, but very slowly. It could not run arcade or like MAME or PS2 games at all. So, and I know the Steam Deck can run both. Can run MAME perfectly and run PS2 games. So that's what I'm getting the Steam Deck basically as a handheld emulator. That's what I'm saying.
Hell yeah.
And to play Elden Ring on, because it apparently runs fantastic on the Steam Deck.
That's gonna be cool. They've been patching the hell out of that game. I need to jump back into it.
Maybe they'll add
eventually.
crossplay eventually.
I hope so. Then I would definitely jump into it.
That would be nice if Sean and I could help you out with that.
Yeah, but what do you say we take one more break, come back, and finish this thing out strong?
All right, sounds good.
All right, everybody. We will be right back with this planned break with more Booze and Games. Hey, everybody. All right, we're back. We were just kind of talking about, this is actually our 4th time recording for episode 14. And we had some news that we talked about in the first couple of recordings, but now that news is old. And there's not really a whole lot of news right now, not a whole lot of Apex news either. So I think we're going to go ahead and cut this one because I am tired of recording episode 14. Yeah. Episode 15 is going to be a fucking banger. But right now we are about to go stream some Overcooked 2 on twitch.tv/gaming and drinking. So if you're watching this, listening to this, go check out the Twitch channel and check out that stream, because I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. Me and Travis trying to strangle each other through the internet. But yeah, I think that's going to do it. What do you say, Travis?
Sounds good to me. I'm looking forward to playing some more multiplayer games on Twitch.
Same. And join the conversation. Twitch.tv/gaming and drinking. Anyways, guys, cheers to you. Travis, cheers to you. Cheers to the internet. Cheers to games. Cheers to beer. Anyways, until next time, everybody. Salancha.
Ghost.